Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Do what you love what you do. Very excited, guys, today. Last week we had a guest from California, and this week I was fortunate enough and blessed to connect with Shamika Lemon out there in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I ran into Shamika on Instagram and just following positive people, looking through her page, and I'm always looking to connect with people who share inspirational messages and just out there grinding. And came across Shamika, and we were able to connect, and just grateful to have her on the show. Shamika, say hi to the listeners and our viewers and introduce yourself.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Well, hello to everyone that's listening. Excited to be here. I'm very thankful that you asked me to join the podcast. Again, love your brand. Everything is awesome about it. So I didn't hesitate to, be a guest here. My name is Shamika Lemon, and I am a productivity coach and a corporate wellness consultant. So I help employers sustain retention and just kind of regain that productivity in their employees. And then I also work with people on an individual basis to meet their goals and reconnect with their productivity as well. So yeah, really enjoy doing that. It's been a challenge for me, but it's definitely love.
Yeah, I bet. And, one thing that we preach on our show is just follow your passion.
Yeah.
And just going through your website, just the energy on the website, just well done, well put together, which draws attention. And I try to tell, people that I coach that trying to start businesses, that your website is key. And it draws attention. And I like the color schemes. Everything is well put together. And that it goes into your productivity coaching. It's funny because you run into different people who are life coaches, productivity coaches, small business startups. But productivity coach, I think, is probably the most personal one because you really have to dig into people's lives, and you have to find out, where's most of their time going. So how did you find that niche of just being a productivity coach, Ms. Lemon?
Well, that's something that's very important. So when I started my business, it was something that I kind of struggled with as well because, we like to say that we're busy. I'm busy. I'm doing this. Like I've been at the computer all day, but what have you been doing? Like, what do you have to show for that busyness, And so after a while, it took me, some months or whatever, I started to think, I need to make some changes. Like something is really happening here, within my business and the things that I'm doing. So what is it that I can do different? And so I started to practice, different things, just look closely at what I was doing, if I was actually getting something done, if I wasn't. And that's one of the reasons why I fell into this. And not only that, so the majority of my business comes from corporate America. I will say that. And so when I go in and do these trainings, these consultations for these corporate, people, after every single training, like I have about 4 or 5 people walk up to me and say, like, I don't just have this issue at work. Like, I'm not just having productivity issues at work. Like, I have this in my personal life as well. Right. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely understand that. That's really what made me open the door to work with people on an individual basis.
Okay.
When I started the business, it was solely just working in corporate America, going in, doing these trainings and customer consultations. But I had, the feedback that I get, and so many people just come up to me and say, I need this on a personal level as well. And so this is how I ended up here. And so, like you said, just digging into their personal lives and just trying to figure out what things we can do differently to make sure that productivity comes back, because it is key. It's very important, and so that's pretty much how I ended up here and working with people on an individual basis.
Yeah, and I want you to share your background with us, how you got started. But before that, for me personally, that's huge for me. I was like you. I'm looking for different techniques. And one thing I had to start doing was getting up an hour earlier to get some things done so I could write my book, do my devotion, get my stretching in, get my meditation in, and sometimes even going to sleep an hour later. Just try to get those extra 2 hours in of just being productive. Just an hour to myself, getting the one chapter done. And so I found, like you said earlier, I was one of those people that I would have a whole checklist of things to do and try to do like 3 or 4 things at a time have one thing going on my computer, trying to read a chapter, trying to write a blog, trying to do something for a video, all at the same time. And at the end of the day, I wasn't being productive. Nothing was getting done. So, what's your background, Shamika, and tell us, just basically, what made you? I guess I don't even know. Did you have a regular 9 to 5? Have you always been an entrepreneur, or what made you want to go in business for yourself?
Yeah, I absolutely had a 9 to 5. So I had a 9 to 5. I had several of them actually, and and so that's the reason why I started the corporate consultations, because I started to see that on a regular basis, the same complaints or the same issues that employees would have. I mean, across the board, they would always be the same. It would be workplace conflict, being productive or not knowing the proper way to be productive. Um, Leadership skills, people wanted to enhance their leadership skills, those types of things. So these were some of the things that I just, people, they always came up as issues in every job that I had. So I just developed a passion for like really wanting to teach people these things and train people on these things and help them enhance those skills. And so that is my background. So yes, I absolutely have worked a 9 to 5. Not against it. Sometimes we have entrepreneurs who are like, they brag and they boast about having, being entrepreneurs, and then they kind of down people who work 9 to 5, and like that's totally not me. Like, everyone's out here doing something. We're all out here trying to get it, basically. And so in corporate America or an entrepreneur, like, it's all one and the same to me. Everybody's hustling. So yeah, I have absolutely been in a 9 to 5 job, but I am full-time now entrepreneur.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good to hear. For me, I just to share some information with me, Miss Lemon, and to our listeners, like, I feel like I'm gonna I feel like I can teach forever. I'm just blessed to do it. The name of the show, that's where it came from. Do what you love what you do. My passion is children. My passion is teaching, whether it's young adults, youth, young, old. So very high energy in the classroom and things like that. So that's what keeps me going. So you won't ever hear me complaining about 9 to 5 or when I'm speaking. I tell people, if you love what you do on your 9 to 5 job, it's at that point it's not a job. At that point, you use that platform to increase your skills and venture out and meet new people. And so everybody's like, well, teachers don't make that much money. That's fine, because I have 4 months out the year where I can, do whatever I want to and make as much money as I want on weekends in those 4 months. And so I love it. And that's one of my goals, is to write a book called The $1 Million Teacher. And so definitely want to, encourage our listeners to keep going. You have Miss Lemon here, who's not bashing people who do a 9 to 5. I've had guests on here that just, bash 9 to 5. Like, you need to work for yourself and stop working for the man and get out there. So it's good to see somebody else, appreciate the 9 to 5 grind as well as entrepreneurship together. Ms. Lemon, as you started, you talked about your entrepreneurship and how you was transitioned full time. On the journey, it's hard. That first couple of years is rough. I'm learning that now. It's pretty rough. I had a friend of mine who walked away from a Fortune 500 company job to start his own consulting firm. And he's going through it right now. And out there in Texas, and shout out to the Austin Collaborative Group, who's doing great things out there in Texas. Ms. Lemon, share with us that first 2 years, that journey, that grind, more than 9 to 5. I'm pretty sure it's like 55, 60 hours, 70 hours a week.
Yeah, like you said, it's definitely tough. Like, I can honestly see why some people do walk away. But I wouldn't suggest that either. Like, stick it out, because like change can happen at any moment. Now, you have some people who kind of quit a little too soon. They get excited and they're like, okay, I got this. I made about $1,000. I can do this now. But you definitely want to make sure that you have like at least enough, because there are going to be expenses that come with being an entrepreneur. Like, you no longer have that salary to fall back on, or that salary to help you out with these expenses that come up in your business. Like, you have to be able to come up with those things yourself. So just be prepared for those types of things, like the unexpected things that come up. You know, like if your a system that you're using in your business goes down, like what are you going to do? Like you have to really be prepared. Um, Definitely don't walk into it and think that it's going to be all good every day, like, you know, peaches and cream every day. Like it's not going to be that. You're going to have some days where you do want to quit because it gets just that bad, and you're like, you know, I'll just go back to work. Like I'm cool, you know. I have that steady paycheck. I'll just do that. But
Right.
I do think that most businesses work when you, yes, number one, follow your passion, but when you're also doing it and living in your purpose at the same. So it's not really just about your passion, because you can be, you know, super passionate about something, but the people that you're trying to sell to, are they passionate about it? You know, are your friends and family passionate about it? The people that you keep in your circle, like the top 5 people that are in your circle, are they passionate as you are? So if you're the only one that's passionate about it, it may be a little bit, you know, a little difficult for something like that to work. But just while you're seeking that passion, just make sure that it is also important, you know, that you know what your purpose is, and that you're following your purpose as well. You know, kind of join the two together. Don't just seek your passion. I mean, you know, passion, that's big. That's what we all talk about.
Right.
And I love that. But I want people to also focus on your purpose. You know, is that your purpose? What your very reason for being here.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how crazy that is that you brought that up. I actually have a blog that I haven't let out yet, but it's called Passion versus Purpose.
Oh, wow.
And so it was talking about that. And I had posted something on Facebook, and I had got some quite different responses from people, and not knowing really what the definition was. And it was interesting to read their responses. Basically, I believe that your purpose is your mission here on earth, and what God created you to do, and that's your purpose. You know, people can be passionate about fishing. People can be passionate about running. People can be passionate about, you know, singing. But if that's not your mission here on earth, and it's not, I guess your purpose. I believe your purpose is to use your gifts and talents to serve others. Mm-hmm. So what has God given you that you can use and you can use to help other people? And if that goes along with your passion, you know, that's what you just talked about. There's your match.
Yeah.
And so speak more about that. How do you help somebody? So let's say I'm starting my business, you know, and I'm very talented. So I'm very talented, but I just don't know, you know, what kind of business I want to start. I know I want to start a business. How can you help me seek out that purpose? Or is it something that I need to find out on my own? Can you help me with that, or what?
No, it is something that I can help with, but yes, you would have to put in a little work yourself, like a little soul searching yourself to figure out what it is, you know, that you feel like your purpose is here. Because the first thing I would say is, you know, what do you feel like you're passionate about? Because sometimes we can get confused and thinking that we're passionate about something because we see other people doing it and they're successful at it, and we're like, oh, okay, I can do that. Especially people who spend a lot of time on social media. So you see people, you know, doing certain things, and all of a sudden you think in your mind that that's a passion of yours as well. You want to make sure that what you're claiming to be your passion is actually your passion, you know, that you're passionate about it. Like, how far will you go without receiving any profit in doing this passion that, you know, you claim to be your passion? Like, you know, how far will you go before you start to see results?
Right.
You know, and so really think about that. And then your purpose, like, have you taken the time out to really think about, you know, why you are here? Like, is your life so busy to where you haven't even thought about that yet? You know, what is your sole reason for even like wanting to start a business? You really have to dig deeper than, I want, you know, I want this quick, rich, you know, get quick, rich scheme type stuff, or, you know, I'm seeking to be famous or to be seen. I want to be known, that type of thing. Like, you really just have to be careful when starting a business, or, you know, anything like that, that's going to take you away from, I don't want to say traditional things, but that's going to take you away from, you know, the path that you're already on. Don't just do it for these other reasons that don't matter.
All right. So speaking of that, you said taken away from other things. You're married. You have 2 kids. Yes. I have a son. He's 18 months. Oh, wow. You have 2 little girls. You know, where's the balance in that? I know for me, like when I record and when I'm doing podcasts, I have to have everything on the schedule to be productive, especially to make sure that he's taken care of, my wife is taken care of. So how's that balance? And you being the queen of the house, what does that look like? Because the mothers, man, I'm telling you, I told my wife the other day, she gets the award because first of all, she has to put up with everything that I do. My coach as well, I coach every season, so she has to handle that. And all I'm in charge of is making sure dinner's ready.
Dinner's ready.
I gotta make sure the food. She take care of the rest. So where's that balance? How do you find that balance?
Some days are easier than others, but most days are very hard. They totally understand. Like I've been doing this. I started my business in 2013. And like we talked about before, like those first 2 years are just, you're just kind of all over the place. Now that was really hard, but we've all come to an agreement, and we all have balance now. Like I said, some days still get hard because my daughter plays travel softball, and like she can have softball games like all day Saturday and all day Sunday.
Yeah.
So I know, even if like I decide to take like not do any work Tuesday or Wednesday, I know that I'm not going to be able to make up for that on a weekend where she has to play travel ball because I have to be there as well.
Right.
And so the times that I work mostly are when my daughter's in school. And my oldest daughter, she's actually at UNCG now. So
Okay.
And so she's no longer here, and so there's that kind of helped out a little bit with the balance. But still with my younger daughter, I try to do most of my work like when she's away or at school or something like that, because I don't want to take away from the family time.
Mm-hmm.
And then with my husband, it gets kind of hard with us as well, like being able to spend the time together that we need to spend together, and he understands that as well. So we have a set day out of the week that we date. We have that right now. So it's just, everything pretty much has to be on a schedule. I know it sounds like, cliche and just ridiculous, but like everything is put on a schedule. Everything.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And when I teach, I like to have the agenda. My kids know it. Like this is what we're doing in class. And it provides structure. And if I'm pretty sure you read a lot. And if you read about some of the most successful people in the world, they have strict morning routines, strict routines before they go to bed. Their day is planned out like minute by minute.
That's me.
And so, if me and you are going to reach that top ladder, we have to follow their blueprint. And if they're sticking to a strict schedule, that's something that we have to do. And me still trying to balance the teaching thing and as well growing my business. It's very important for people who have 9-to-5s and growing their business on the side to make sure they find that balance. I believe that you have to have that balance for your family. I definitely have to find time for my wife. We have our certain shows that we watch, our on-demand time, right before, even if we fall asleep together on the couch watching it, at least we're, together, and that's our set time with each other. And so I definitely like that date night to keep everything balanced. I definitely want to ask you this, being already a queen, an African-American, a Black woman, you're already a minority, being that you're Black now, and then on top of that, you are a woman entering the corporate space, the entrepreneurship space. Is it easier or harder using? Do you play that card, or do you go in there with some swag and like some on Empire, like cookie stuff? Like what's your game plan? What kind of game plan you have?
Oh, I definitely have to give myself a pep talk because we know what corporate America looks like.
Right.
We know what it looks like. So I definitely have to give myself a pep talk and use like that extra confident, like swag. Like you said, I have to do that, and it definitely helps out. I have one of my trainings was 12 business leaders, and they were all white men. Right. And so here I am, this African-American Black woman, coming in and teaching these people how to be leaders, teaching these white men how to be leaders,
Right.
And so already, you could tell the vibe in there in the beginning. Now, I shut it down quickly, but that's just because of my delivery. Like I was very confident in what I was teaching them. what the workshop was about. I was very confident.
Right.
And I just knew that it was some information that was going to really help them. So that was hard for, I think, both of us. Like I said, the vibe when I first walked in and them just kind of looking at me like, what is she about to teach us? It was really a little uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
the workshop, it was really good. It went really well. Not the first encounter I've had with being uncomfortable in a setting like that. So I would definitely say it's harder, and we do have to prepare more, be more let that confidence shine more than that nervousness, because there's still going to be that. But really, as long as you know that what you're delivering to these people, like as long as you know that it's going to be something that's going to be powerful, if you're confident, I mean, they can see whether you are or not either way,
Right.
but as long as you're confident in what you're doing and what you're talking about, I mean, it'll be fine. But I do think that it's a little bit harder, and we have to work extra hard, go that extra mile,
Mm-hmm.
to be who we are, or to show people who we really are.
Yeah, and I find that I coach girls basketball, and I find that working with these young ladies, and they are definitely the different attitudes I got to deal with on a daily basis, but just the passion. The passion is more than what I see in boys when I coach boys, because boys kind of rely more on their athleticism and trying to learn their skills, where girls, like, they might not be that talented, but if they really want something, like, they gonna go get it.
That's right.
And it's just being in that position it taught me a lot. So I definitely learned a lot from them. Definitely appreciate you being on the show. Just wanted to highlight some things that you got going on. Then you got a Facebook Live event coming out. Definitely, I want you to talk about that real quick. And how can we find you on that Facebook Live event? What do we need to do to sign up on that, and speak about what you're going to be talking about on our event? Because I'm definitely interested in tuning in.
Awesome. So it's going to be on my Facebook page, Peacefully Profitable. So if you just go on Facebook and search for Peacefully Profitable, the company name, and just follow or like the page. And I'm hoping it's scheduled for October 3rd at 8 p.m., which I think is a Tuesday. I'm not 100% sure right now, but it's scheduled for that time. But if anything changes, I'll be posting there on Peacefully Profitable. I also have Twitter and Instagram, but the names are a little different. So it's Peacefully Shantae on Instagram, and I'll post it there as well. But that's why I like to suggest just going to the Facebook page. That's
right. Okay, I'm definitely going to post those links for our listeners in the comment section of the YouTube video and in the podcast, and definitely on the Facebook page. So our listeners can definitely contact you through there. I definitely also post the website address as well. Anybody looking to be more productive in life, definitely hit up Miss Lemon. I checked her out. She's certified, and she actually in Greensboro. I spent a lot of time out there. Definitely got the word out there, and Greensboro is growing, up and coming. And so, Miss Lemon, we like to do this game here on our show, Do What You Love What You Do. And so you can respond with one-word answers only, all right? So I'm going to give you a word, and you respond back with one word. Are you ready? I'm going to give you one word. You only can respond with one-word answers, okay?
Okay.
All right. I'm going to start with something easy. All right. Food.
Pizza.
Okay. All right. Favorite month of the year?
November.
Okay. Coming up. All right. Here we go. Vacation.
Italy.
Okay. Mentor.
Yes. Courtney Sanders.
Okay. Courtney Sanders. And book.
Book. Ooh, several. Ego is the Enemy.
Ego is the Enemy. And who's that by?
That is Ryan. Oh my goodness. What is his last name? If you hadn't asked me, I'll have to get back to you on that. His first name is Ryan, and I can't remember the last.
Okay. Ego is the Enemy. I'm putting that down. I see my bookshelf behind me. I love books.
Awesome.
I definitely love to read. I read about 3 or 4 at a time. I don't know how productive that is, but I read 3 or 4 at a time.
Yeah, I do that too.
Ms. Lemon, thank you again for being on the show. I really appreciate it. Definitely I'm looking forward to doing some great things with you. Definitely, I'm always in the Greensboro area, speaking at different schools. So hopefully, when next time I'm out there, we connect, and we can do an event together. But
Yeah.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Oh, I have his name is Ryan Holiday. I was just looking it up.
Ryan
So
Holiday.
Ryan.
Okay, cool. All right. And we, like I said, we're gonna post everything on our channel and everything. And thanks again, Miss Lemon. Now, if you had to leave us with one word of advice for our entrepreneurs out here, what would you say?
One word?
Just one phrase or a quote for our entrepreneurs.
Okay. Definitely like keep at it, stay at it, give it your all, and don't give up, and just make sure that the path that you're on is a part of your purpose.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Lemon.